Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings. Today, Ted, we have an exciting announcement from a very familiar face and a new one to the Roundtable.
That's right, Sarah. Welcoming back Fred Fordin, a great name in our industry, along with Charles Fordin. They have a company called Deelr. We're going to hear all about it today. But first, Fred and Charles, welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thank you, Ted. Always great to be here.
Great to have you both. Excited to hear what you're going to be sharing with the audience today. Before I do, for those who may not know, Fred Fordin has a great track record in our industry. He revolutionized fixed ops. When you hear the term, which you do commonly now, ASR Pro, we can thank Fred Fordin for that, for bringing that to market, which became the X-Time Inspect and CDK service tools. It's the inspection platform that most of you are using right now during the course of the workday, and they're back today with something that will help reconditioning and for dealers what ASR Pro has done in the past. So, Fred, tell us a little bit about what's happening. Give us a quick intro, Charles, as well, and I'll let you gentlemen take it from here to start off.
Thanks, Ted and Sarah. So, looking back at the ASR Pro days and what that product ended up meaning to the industry, both way more so through CDK and X-Time than we managed to get some sales out there. But once we joined those companies, as you know, it exploded. And the key to the success of ASR Pro was that we were taking processes that existed in infant format, if you will, and we took them and made them work faster, more efficiently, better customer relationship. It was all encompassing into what we were trying to accomplish. And I hand it to my son. He's had ideas for years since we sold that company. And we both have journeyed through the big names, Cox and CDK and Dealertrack, and of course, there's always a great education that comes with that, right? You go work for those big companies and you learn stuff you just didn't know as a small time entrepreneur, and so we've really gotten the benefit of having been the authors of the program and then seeing them through and rising to those positions in those companies. We've really learned a ton. And so for me, I think the biggest takeaway that I've walked away from is that even today, all these years later, fixed ops and variable ops still have a separation. And that separation just looms large. And when you look at the industry and you look at the processes that go on, where is the place that fixed and variable come together? What's the one place where we're doing inspections in both, right? And so there was this natural affinity for us to look at how do we bring this together, but do it in a way that it hasn't been done before. And so here I'm going to hand off to Charles because he's really the mind behind how we make this work.
Well, I think the only thing I would add to that you left out is we enhanced the workflow and process of inspecting in fixed operations by digitizing the process. And at the time, digital transformation was in a point and place that was very accepting of mobile and high-speed internet. And we embraced those changes. And with those technologies, we were able to improve the process. Today, it's automation and AI. And so we took another fine look at those processes and those inspections, especially. And by adding automation and AI, we're once again able to measurably improve that process. And that's the only part I would add to that.
Well, Charles, so it sounds like, today what Deelr is doing is they're looking at more of the reconditioning components, and you took on inspections before. So why reconditioning now?
Sarah, it's not just reconditioning, but reconditioning and remarketing, and really all of the inspection that goes behind it. So any type of vehicle in all type of locations, they basically procure different processes and workflows based on what they are and what they need. So if it's a new car or a used car that's being certified, they somewhat fall into a different workflow. And so we were able to tell that through AI and computer vision, we can enhance the inspection workflow from the second the vehicle arrives, and we could also improve remarketing and time to line by focusing on all those different fluid processes and not making them one rigid inspection and remarketing and reconditioning process.
Okay.
Without demoing the product, which obviously we're not going to do today, Sarah, when you think about all the different inspections that exist in the land, right? There's tons of them, and OEMs keep coming out with new ones. Charles has taken AI to the point of, oh, you got a new 168 inspection form? Click, the AI looks at it, and it builds all of the lines in the inspection itself in the computer just by looking at the form. And so we've taken this to a point where anybody that wants to create a new inspection tomorrow for whatever reason, they can do it, and the machine will automatically learn that inspection and provide it in a matter of seconds.
Wow.
That's right. To build upon that, we already have every single certified pre-owned inspection template in our system simply from taking a picture or uploading it. And any dealer that is using the system, any admin in their store can simply add a new one, and our system learns that form and builds it directly into the workflow process. AI can talk to it, and your agent is interactive with that form immediately. Absolutely no downtime, no requests to support, no coding involved, right? So we're able to learn these processes and these workflows instantaneously and convert them into a transferable service.
All right. Well, one of the biggest topics here at the roundtable is reconditioning. It sounds like you are market ready, and then some. Charles, walk me through, or walk Sarah and I through, how Flow actually gets vehicles market ready faster as well.
We are market ready. In fact, I encourage everyone to take a look at our website. We have a very self-led journey for sign up. You can see a button at the top for sign up. From there, it's very easy for you to find your business domain. And we are, we have so much market data involved already that we most likely have a sample of your inventory already. You step through and validate your domain and pick the product that you want, and you're instantly subscribed. From there, we have a very self-led journey for incorporating your inventory and understanding how to use the tool and learning how to actually step through the workflows. Everything is embedded inside of the UI from our support and all of our entire onboarding and any other products from within the website that you'd like to add to your suite. You just go into our admin section, and from there it takes you back to the portal, and you could just add another product. It's really very easy. From there, inventory comes in from a number of free sources. So we're immediately contacting your inventory management tool, be it vAuto or one of the others, and we're pulling down inventory sources so that we're able to merge your official inventory with the sample that we have, and the self-led journey for using computer vision to go up to a car. We can read absolutely any door jam sticker in any position and fully understand all the metadata about the vehicle, including tire PSI stickers, and those instantly feed into our inspection. So the dynamic enhancements through computer vision going up to the car and actually beginning the inspection that way really do improve time and experience.
Fred and Charles, I want to pivot a little bit because we've talked about AI. That word has come up quite a bit at the roundtable, and then of course, in this process as we're talking about it. So, when you talk about automation, Fred, what does that really mean? Like, what is that AI actually doing day to day?
Well, it's it's doing what you and I used to do, only it doesn't need us anymore. So the automation, and Charles will certainly do a better technical description, but what the automation is doing is it's allowing it's allowing the employees at the dealership to move faster, and not just move faster. It's not that they go from 30 seconds in a step to 10 seconds in a step. It's that they no longer have to do that step. It gets done for them because of all of the different pieces of information. For example, some dealerships have a flat. I know when I was a GM, it was every used car had $800 automatically approved in service. Didn't matter whether it needed anything or not. It had $800 approved in service, and an RO was going to get written. Well, our system already knows what your threshold is. That's the word we use in the system, is threshold. What your dollar threshold is, and so as you're looking at, should we buy this vehicle? Do we even want to buy this vehicle? How have you sold that year, make, model, and trim historically? What is, based on mileage, what do we think the restoration is going to cost, right? What are the repair bills going to be? How many days do we think you're going to keep this car in stock? And based on that, what's floor planning going to be, right? And so with all of that information already in the system that AI has, in the initial setup, AI can make decisions that used to take somebody to say, go ahead or don't go ahead. And when you think about the time lost or the time gained, it turns into a major factor in how quickly that car goes to the front line.
So, Charles, it sounds like this is really enabling an employee. They're not having to wait on those phone calls or those, approval methods. Now, this is really taking over a lot of those, historically very manual processes.
Right. And that's what we refer to as our agentic helper. So everyone essentially has their agent built into their role. And based on, the normal workflows and pieces of data that they're involved with, their agentic helper assists with communication and all of the other things that they would normally go to a calculator for. You can just dig in with your agentic helper and ask it all sorts of questions, right? Like, for example, I'm trying to figure out how to price this car. Dad mentioned all the different things that we know already about your goals and your historical sales. I absolutely know that I want to keep this vehicle and I know how much I'm willing to put into it, but exactly what do I want to price it at? And you could ask AI, what are the top 3 comps in my competition across the way? And they'll just spit that out for you, right? So rather than having to dig in and query and find out this information, we can just ask it and it'll respond to you. And our agentic helper has a widget built into it. So many of the things that you ask it, they show up in an interface that looks very much like other parts of the system where you would have seen that exact same data. So
Gentlemen, I'm sorry, go ahead, Charles.
It's without a doubt an enhancement because, folks from there have saved time just by not moving from one screen to another.
Okay, all right. My follow-up for either of you is, what are you seeing in stores or in dealerships that are using this right now?
Charles, go ahead, take that one. Talk about.
Well, what we're seeing is cars are on the web as fast as they want them to be, right? We have the ability for our agentic helper to get cars, ready and into the inventory, have photos taken, branded, updated, backgrounds updated, and syndicated to the inventory provider nearly instantaneously. Our fluid process then allows for decisions to be made or advanced based on the wants and needs of that car. So if a vehicle, is ready for sale rather quickly, and there's still some things that need to be done, it expedites the process and moves it up to the top. So through that, we're seeing days gained in some cases, and entire deals won that normally would have been lost because we're better managing the fluid process, location to location, car to car.
This is incredible stuff, Ted. And Fred and Charles, I know our listeners today hearing about Deelr are going to have a lot of questions, and they're going to, want to understand more about how all of this is going to impact their individual business. So Fred, Charles, is this something that's customizable? Like, is this scalable across multiple rooftops? How does a dealer really get started to find out more information today?
Yeah, so we're completely set up for enterprise level. When Charles was talking about uh, the setup, the online setup, and how really hands free and just simple it is to get going. Well, that's the case whether it's a 30 store group or an individual rooftop. When you're setting up, it's am I setting up a group or am I setting up a store? And if you set up a store today and next week you want to set up your group, it's simple to do. It's not time consuming. This is the greatest thing for me as an individual. The hard part of ASR Pro was managing the implementations, which was a massive amount of setup in advance, which today the AI does all of it for us.
Isn't that
And
beautiful?
it's wonderful, Ted. I mean, it's when you think about
Yeah.
when you think about the time savings and the brain damage of finding the right people to do those jobs, and the AI just does it. Um, and so it gets us completely to a point where, we can have stores up and running in a matter of hours. Uh, Enterprise level, sure, it's going to take more than a couple of hours, but um, the fact that if someone was interested today, that Monday morning they could be utilizing this system, even the learning of how to do it is so simplified and so user friendly that it's really a whole new world compared to what we've done in the past.
Charles,
Charles?
anything I'd like to add to bring us home?
Well, we're using AI in 4 primary places, right? Computer vision, AI photos, agentic helpers, and in the inspection. And in each place, it unifies the whole workflow and it helps us reduce costs across the dealership. So the onboarding is tremendous because it's a consolidated platform and all of the back end data is speaking to each other via AI, as Dad was alluding to. So once we're connected, it's sort of omnipresent and everywhere, and it's just that easy.
I love it. All right. Um, Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time today. Exciting to learn about Deelr. For those of you who want to learn more, down below in the scroll, you could see the URL for Deelr.io. I see a 919 look, Fred, that looks like it could be your number. Is that right?
It is. That's my number.
All right. All right. So if you want to reach out, everybody, Fred Fordin and Charles Fordin will be happy to help answer your questions and learn more about the platform and how this can be customized for you with your situation at your location. Sarah, very top of mind with everything we're seeing at the Roundtable right now. Speed, reconditioning, the focus on these types of things, very, very important.
Yeah, and one of the keys, Ted, is we know, and I'm willing to be bold enough to make the statement, we've surpassed most of the competition in the recon industry at this point based on where we are. And so, great tools that are out there. We actually stayed quiet and stayed stealth for a longer period of time than perhaps we should have, but it's enabled us to really just blow by and get to that point where we can stand and brag the way we did 15 years ago.
Congratulations, Fred and Charles, on all that you've built with Deelr. It'll be really exciting, Ted. Again, all this innovation that's coming to the automotive industry will be revolutionizing what's happening in retail.
Very timely. I mentioned Fred's great track record. Everybody, learn more, Deelr.io. Charles Fordin and Fred Fordin. Fred, I know end of January, I think you've got a birthday coming up in a couple days. Happy birthday to you. I know a
Thank
lot
you.
of folks
Thank
in the
you.
industry are going to want to reach out to you also. And, thank you for all you've done for the industry and continue
Thank
to
you. I
do.
appreciate it.
All right.
My pleasure.
Charles, great to see you. And congratulations on Deelr. And we look forward to hearing a whole lot more. So,
Thank
Sarah,
you,
great.
Ted.
All right.
Thanks for everything.
Charles Fordin, everybody, and Fred Fordin from Deelr here with us today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.